Hello, brave ones. Hello, Jasiris. Welcome to another episode. And today I have a guest. Oh, this guest. Ningependa introduce, but let me say what I know about him and then he'll introduce himself. So he's a drum roll, he's a coach. He's an amazing pastor. One of the youngest pastors in Mavuno Church Lifeway. He is an amazing orator. I find him a very good motivator. He is also a discipler, a good discipleship group leader, and I know he was in sports one time. So today, in the conversation that we have today about having healthy behaviors, healthy habits, and crushing all the destructive behaviors, we want to hear his interests, his opinions. So, karibu sana, Coach Sammy.
Thank you. Coach Sammy is my name. And she said all those amazing things. I think the only one you missed to say is that I'm a handsome guy.
I remember that when we were doing the gratitude challenge. Like, that's something that I can never forget.
Yeah.
We were asking, what are we grateful for?
Yeah.
For our physical appearance. I think you're one of the bold men who are bold enough to say, I know I am handsome, which is a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing, and it's true.
Yeah, thank you.
I won't rubbish that.
So, yeah, that one you put, I was on, hey, Kwani, you're not saying that one, man. But, yeah, so...
Sammy, you are handsome.
Thank you. All right. So, other than that, yes, I played professional sports back in the days. Football, I played the National Super League. Mm-hmm. And then also I'm a fitness coach. I have my own gym. I'm also a gym owner here at Marion School. It's called Road to Pro Gym.
Road to Pro Gym.
Oh, yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Please do.
Answer me as sincerely as possible.
Okay.
Is there a time when you are coaching people in the gym, you look at this person, the way they are lifting that dumbbell, or you have a punching bag, right?
Yeah.
They have done it is not even professional, but anyway. The way they are hitting or the way they are doing the jumps and everything, you see, this person is really stressed. It's not only their strength, it's the strength of strength.
Yeah. I've met clients who come to the gym, come and work out, and I realize that they're not facing a physical problem. It's mostly an emotional problem. Mm-hmm. So not even one, many. I've met many. I've met some who look fit, but when they do the workout, you wonder, in your mind, you just wonder, hey, who you... I don't know if you guys speak Kiswahili, but huyu ni nini? Shida yake ni gani? Yeah, what's the problem of this person? So now that's the thing I've realized. So now that made me now decide to now focus on the holistic part of people. Because one of the things before when we started is that we were focused on the physical part. So I used to have people who used to come for sessions at 4:30 a.m., but they come straight from the club directly. Like they come, before they go home, they come to the gym and work out. Mm-hmm. But then I realized that God is calling me to do for them something bigger than that, because I needed to now to come out from being a fitness coach to be a life coach. Yeah. So then life coach meant that I need to take care to find out about their physical health, their emotional health, their spiritual health, and also their in terms of growing intellectually. Because if I'm expecting them to grow and also us to grow as a gym in terms of a community, then they have to also now grow in terms of what they read and what they take in their minds. Yeah,
that's nice. I like the fact that we've even partnered with you in terms of people being whole, that is spiritually, mentally, and physically.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this gym, Road to Pro Gym, is not only about growing physically. Yeah. So it's something that I really admire. But I want to know, how did you get to this point of seeing, I want to open the gym? Yes, I know you have a history in sports.
Yeah.
But I want to know the entire story, especially spiritually and mentally.
Yeah.
You deciding it's not only going to be about gym, but I'm going to take care of people because you are shepherding people. I'm going to take care of people as a whole. How did you get to that point?
All right. So for the gym, I've always have an interest in... So 2 things have always been consistent in my life. Number 1 is prayer. Number 2 is going to the gym.
Yeah.
So when life was getting hard at home, there's a time even I moved out of home. So the thing that I used to go to was the gym. So I'd spend almost I'd spend like 3 hours in the gym. like talking to people, just enjoying. I just liked enjoying like just being around the gym people.
Yeah.
So it has been always something consistent. The time I had injuries, the time I went through surgery. So the most consistent thing at that time was just working out. So it became the thing whereby, you know, when you're thinking, I was thinking about what I want to do in my life apart from football. And I said, let me do something that I enjoy doing. So then I thought to myself, what has been the thing that I've always enjoyed doing? And I realized by then it's working out. It's just sports performance has been the thing. Then it also helped me mentally, emotionally, like it did something for me physically in terms of pushing myself, but also emotionally it did something to me whereby I became resilient with things.
Yeah.
So then I decided, why not help people experience the same thing? Because I'm experiencing something great. Why not help people experience the same thing? So I started it. We started with teachers of marathon schools at the time. Wanted to see how it do. No, first we started in COVID time, but it didn't work out. So I did it COVID time because people were working out at home. So I used to have people come in. That time it was just for free. Then I decided, okay, I enjoyed it at that time. Let me now try it again. Then I tried again with teachers. Unfortunately, teachers don't have a good schedule. So then I started it with other people, then realized that I'm being called mostly to work with sports people, but mostly also business people.
Yeah.
So business people, I realized by the business people are the ones who want what I need, the holistic growth. So for the emotional and spiritual is, I thought when I was working out, I always thought the solution is working out, like just working out.
Yeah.
But I realized that I was hiding a lot of things underneath. So when I was working out, I'd work out, but I was carrying a lot of pain and a lot of anger. So I remember there's a time I was working out and there was a coach who just decided to do, these small jokes. He just said, hey, Kizana, like just to tease me up.
Yeah.
I woke up, I was going to beat him up.
Oh, no.
Like I told him, I remember I cussed towards his face. And then he was like, hey, bro. Chill. What's happening? I just said a joke, but you've already...
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I was on his face. I was like... And he was a big guy by there. I was like ready to take him on. I was ready to take him on. Maybe I'd have lost, but I was like, yo, one of us has to do this, man. You see?
Yeah.
So I realized that I've carried a lot of bitterness and a lot of anger, which stemmed from a lot of things.
Yeah.
And this was all brought up when I decided now what happened is that when I went through the surgery, at a certain point, I couldn't really work out as what I needed to do, like work out the way I used to work out.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of time to stick by myself, like because when surgery, you have to stay at home a lot and relax.
Yeah.
So that made me now realize, I got a problem. Because I was just getting angry. So I decided to try out, at the time now, at least I had an insurance that took both. So I was going for physiotherapy here in KU referral. They have a good physiotherapist. Therapy center. And then at the same time I realized they have a mental health suite, so I went to check it out.
Oh,
and I said,
wow.
okay, let me try out one session. So now they agreed to me, I tried out one session, and then I realized this is what I needed. At that time it was crazy because I was like wanting 2 sessions a week. So Ash was like, hey, even if it's too much, you don't have to do it too much. So we did. So she made it lower, but we did each week. We did therapy, and each which I got to grow. I got to understand things better. And then now, when I was now training people, I was like, the same things I saw people going through, coming to the gym because of the anger and the frustration, and not focusing on the emotional side. I realized they need also a solution themselves. They need to actually now get in touch with their emotions, apart from just here physically. Because the gym is known as somewhere, it's like on Instagram, there's that thing, when a girl rejects you, the first place...
Yes, the first place you
people go to is the gym.
To get that body that will...
Yeah, to make her feel bad.
Revenge body.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, it's a good way of removing the anger, but it's not a way of dealing with the pain that you're going through.
It's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable because you still have the anger, you still have the... That's why you find many gym people have that thing like they are players.
Yeah.
Because most of them have gone through the pain and the hurt, but they're not willing to deal with the pain and the hurt. They have gone through hurt, but they want to hurt other ladies, hurt other people.
Yeah.
So the spiritual side was quite amazing. So for the spiritual side was, I went through the physical side, the emotional side. Then the spiritual side was like so it was like the top of the ice. It's the icing.
But you used to pray.
I used to pray the one for God bless my faith.
But you're not born again.
No. I used to pray the one for God, thank you for waking me up in the morning, like that. So it used to be just small prayers.
Yeah.
So now, emotionally, now spiritually is when now it took another turn. Because I realized, yes, emotionally I tended to carry myself as like a god in terms of those times. So I used to carry myself.
You are the power within.
Power within. I can control my mindset, my subconscious.
But why?
So it really worked for me because psychologically I was on a different level.
Yeah.
But what took it now another level was now getting in touch with God and understanding God's purpose for
Yes.
myself. And made me now live. Because I remember every time I used to start the year, I used to start with depression.
Why?
Because of pressure. I used to write down...
The resolutions that you have.
I used to write
or
down
the
like
anxiety you
20
get.
new things. I need to do this, So instead of me starting energized, I used to start disenergized.
Yes,
Yeah,
because
like my
there's
work,
just
my
so
everything.
much.
There's just so much. I have so much pressure on myself. So now when I now went to I got seriously now into like born again seriously, because I got born again a lot of times by the... So I started following Christ now well, and also understanding his purpose and just surrendering my life to him.
Yeah.
Now things became now better. Emotionally now I stopped having the pressure of succeeding tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because my pressure, also, and being a footballer, if you're 23 and above, you're too old. So when I was 21, I was always like, right now, I need to be in Spain. And now, so this doesn't work out. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Right now I need to be in this country. Because my goal was, I used to say 19 is when I finish with KPL.
Yeah.
I'm out of 19, I'm already in Europe. So I needed, by 20, I need to be in Europe.
Oh, wow.
So there was that pressure of being young. Because when you reach 23, if you don't have a professional team that you're already in, it becomes difficult.
But that's the targets, you're young. You look like such a high achiever from that story, which is not bad. And I once had a quote, Stephanie Ike said, when you put deadlines, you're telling the enemy where to find you or where to meet you.
Okay.
It was such an interesting quote. But I like what you have mentioned as well about people in the gym and also being high achievers. How have you managed to not be a perfectionist? Because we see people in the gym, this type of body, eat this, like everything is crystal cut. Everything looks like it should be perfect in a way. But I know you have learned grace, which plays such a role in mental health.
Yeah.
So how are you able to achieve the emotional wellness of having grace for people and also not being a perfectionist in still this field of coaching and fitness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I look at it in this way. I normally tell even my coaches that it's a journey and not a destination. So journey means any journey has ups and downs, has roundabouts. You'll go to the roundabout. Sometimes you'll go off track your Google Maps. You'll come back to track. So when I started looking at it like that, it removed the pressure of, because I noticed also my clients had that thing. So some of them would be with me like it's been even just a month.
Yeah.
And they had all these things. They're supposed to lose like 15 kgs, 10 kgs.
In a
which
month?
is a bit impossible.
In a month?
There are some people who come with some ridiculous amount of goals. But some people get it, because I have a client who lost in 6 weeks. She went from 90 to 74.
Okay.
So those are almost 16. But she's one of the exceptions,
Yes,
so it's not everyone has that. Not everyone is able to do the same thing. So people have that pressure of it. So then understanding now grace, now in terms of grace, and I'll put grace in terms of the journey now. Now grace helped me to understand that we are playing the long-term game.
Yeah.
The long-term games mean things will go haywire and things will go right.
Yeah.
So when I understood this, when I see people fall off in terms of their goals, in terms of even inconsistency, because one of the things that I have is now I normally tell guys at least minimum of coming to the gym is 3 times a week. But there are times people are so busy.
Yeah.
But they get so hard on themselves and they say that I'll overdo. So they try to recompensate. Yeah, they try to compensate for the days they haven't come. But you see, it doesn't do anything. The only thing it does, it takes you down mentally and emotionally.
Yeah.
Because you'll overcompensate by doing more. You'll either get injured or mentally exhausted or physically too exhausted. So now is when I teach them that thing of, okay, you stopped, we start again. So we continue. Okay, well, we reached here, let's continue. Pole. That help create a good environment also in the gym and also for people to reach their goals better.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been a journey, and I'm so glad that I've witnessed you as well even grow in empathy.
Yeah.
There's something I'm sure even the audience is wondering. You had mentioned a little bit, but I want us to get into it. Players in the gym.
You're going there?
Yes, I'm going there. I'm diving. Players in the gym. I have seen your journey, which is incredible, but maybe you can tell us psychologically, and you've gone through therapy. That's beautiful. You can tell us psychologically what's going through this in the psychological part of these people who are players in the gym, and they keep staying in the gym, they're working on themselves, but then emotionally you even wonder their relationships are not doing well, or they just want every other girl. Mainly it's every other girl, because mainly it's men we see struggling with that. So what's going on with these people? What are they thinking? Have you ever been this person?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you said, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
The time even I remember, in one of these gyms here, very interestingly, I asked a girl out and her mother was there. Her mother was so stunned. She was like, vijana wa siku hizi fanya wananga adabu. Ananikatia tu
mtoto hapa tu.
Ananikatia tu mtoto wangu mbele yangu. So I became the talk of the gym of how I'm even katiaring people in front of their mothers. So it was quite interesting. But I realized playing on girls comes from a place of brokenness. So it doesn't come from a place of like strength and like dominance in terms of you being just strong, in terms of even emotionally strong. So it mostly comes from a place of brokenness.
Yeah.
Whereby you've gone through a lot of pain and you don't want them to experience the same pain you want. So you haven't gone through it, but you want to experience the same pain. You want them to kind of experience the same pain that you want, but you still want to experience pleasure with it.
Yeah.
Because at that time, you tend to see girls as objects.
Oh, yes.
So that's a problem. Now you don't see them as people. You don't see them as people daughters. You don't see them like someone's future mother. You know, you think of them as objects to be used for your own personal satisfaction.
Yeah.
So that only comes from a place of brokenness. So if you see someone who is playing around in the gym, just means emotionally there are some things they haven't really worked on. That when they work on it, it will be something different. I remember one of the thoughts that happened to me, there's a girl I was with at a point, just messing around with her. And then I got just the thought of, you know, I don't know, I got this from, like, this is God's daughter.
Yeah.
Like, in the future, she'd be, like, I want later in the future, like, she'd be someone else, like, she'd be someone important out there.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'd be a father of someone, and then we'd meet, you know. And then maybe at that time now God is using me to, like, share the word.
Yeah.
So that's like, would she be even willing to accept God's word from her broken her? You see?
That's deep.
Yeah, she wouldn't, because she'd be like, hey, I'd rather, if this is the people God uses, let me just stay away from it.
Yes.
So it came as a conviction. And at that time, I remember I was with her. I was playing around with her, but my mindset shifted, and then she actually realized it, because I started now treating her like my fellow. There's this verse that here says, treat your younger brothers as your younger sisters, your younger something as sisters.
Yes.
So now I remember I treated her like a friend, because at that time I was really treating her like a sexual being, you know. So I said, treat her. Even I remember mentally, I think it really messed up with her, because she was like, oh,
what's happening? What's going on?
Happened? How come this changed like this? It's become excited stories. Nini. That time I was on a mission, just like I want to sleep with her and bounce with it, because she was quite pretty by the way.
Yeah. I bet. Does ego play a role in all of this?
What's your definition of ego?
Oh, that's... Ego is when you're trying to have supply for your pride instead of yourself, like your true self. My true self, okay, let me start with my true self. My true self is the raw self of that child. Whenever they get a toy, they get excited. Whenever they are told they are loved, they get shy and goofy. That's the true self, the raw part of self. But then the ego is shelled. That's the definition of the ego for me, is a shell that always needs supply of praises, of external validation. So it just grows that shell. So whenever there is less of that, it just breaks down. So validation in terms of attention from maybe men, girls in your case, and all of that, and also achievements, getting that body and everything. So
it definitely is. It definitely comes from a place of, if that's your definition of ego, then I agree. It comes from a place of ego. Because one of the things which was crazy, I didn't know much, But one of my cousins was telling me, like, if I want to date seriously,
Yeah.
before I get someone serious, my body count needs to be ngapi?
0. Have you done? Why have you done this?
100. He said that was his goal. When we were very young, that was his advice. He was telling us you need to...
You weren't saying 0, you were saying 1, 0, 0.
That was his good definition. So mentally, you see, now we grew up, me and my cousins, thinking, like, numbers game.
That's totally an ego thing.
You see,
external validation.
It's like if you don't get a certain amount, you don't feel like a certain guy. Today's body count sounds like a flex. Back in the days, I don't know how these days is, but kitambo it used to be a flex.
Now that you're born again,
yeah,
you don't know.
These days it's not a flex, man. It's like disgusting. You need God in your life.
Yes.
You see, so now like 30 used to be like, wow, my guy, how did you even do that, man? 20 used to be like, hey, 50, 100. You're like, eh.
You're respecting that person.
My guy, you've done more than you can even imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because imagine, for example, how back in the days, this is my mindset back in the days, how hard it was to get like one girl to sleep with you, and then you get 100. So you look at that guy like a Gotham of life, like he's taken over, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the thing. So it's an ego thingy. So now it's a thing of whereby you don't know your value in Christ, and you don't know your value in terms of you as a person.
Yeah.
So now you tend to get your value from other people. Yeah.
Okay. I really appreciate that you've shared some nuggets that are going to set free a lot of people and also cause mental wellness in this society and in our generation. But as we finish, I would like you to encourage someone maybe who has been broken by someone who was in the relationship for their ego, and affirm this person. And also tell us where your gym is, how we can participate in the gym, how we can sign up. Yes, so just encourage and affirm someone who is going through a heartbreak. Also advise the young men and the women who are going through it. Advise them, because you've been there, done that, so you know the other side, how they can be able to protect themselves. Yeah, so encourage and affirm, and tell us how we can get to your gym.
All right. That means I should look at the camera, yeah?
Yes.
So this is for someone, first of all, someone who is going through a heartbreak at the moment. First of all, heartbreaks are very interesting. Yeah? They make you self-doubt, they make you self-pity. Why me? Why you? Why this? Why this time? Why God? But one of the things I realize is that it's for the betterment of yourself. You know? So one of the things I've said, take heartbreaks, like it makes you first emotionally stronger. So it's a time for you to grow emotionally. So also ask yourself, what are some things you can now learn about yourself and grow at this time of your heartbreak? And also the thing is, the person leaving you, if they've left you, doesn't define who you are as a person. It doesn't define whether you're man enough or not. It doesn't define if you're that guy. You know, maybe you've been known as that guy, but maybe she's left you and then you don't no longer think of yourself as that cool guy, that charismatic and funny guy, but it doesn't define much. Her leaving you has nothing to do with who you are as a person. So first of all, know that you should get your identity from God, because if you get your identity from God, it means that nothing, even if you date Kim Kardashian and she leaves, it doesn't to share you. There's this video these days that's going around whereby when you come out of the gym, you see Kylie Jenner calling you, just decline, you know. So have that confidence all the way through. So for ladies also, no?
Yeah, for ladies.
Oh, for ladies, come on, umewachwa.
Why are you laughing?
I'm joking. I was gonna make a joke, but so for ladies, just keep at it.
Keep at what?
Strong.
You know why you are struggling? Because you're the one who used to hurt the ladies in the past.
So for
now
ladies,
talk to that lady
okay, let me
who
talk
you
to
have
ladies
hurt
who I've hurt before. Us breaking your heart, us using you, us not being intentional about you or seeing you as a wonderful human being that you are, the beautiful human being that you are. It comes from a place of us being insecure. It comes from a place from us not valuing ourselves that makes us not value you. So if someone has left you and left you the wrong way or used you, that means that they really don't have a good value of themselves, and they're just projecting their pain, but yeah, they really have a lot to grow in, so you don't worry. So hata kama wamekuacha, just let them be. Allow them to heal. You change your perspective of it. Just look at it as a broken person who needs help. Yeah, as they are. So other than that, the gym is called Road to Pro Gym. We at Car West Marion Schools. You can check us out on Instagram, on Facebook, YouTube, all of it. But Instagram is the place where I'll be able to respond to you quick. So check us out on Instagram. Yeah.
That's it from us, guys. Thank you so much, Jasiri Warriors, for joining us today. Remember to subscribe, share, comment, like, and stay brave, stay Jasiri. God bless you. Bye. Let's tell them bye.